Oh, that makes the light look better too. It's kind of reflecting it. Is it? Am I just tripping?
No, a little bit. Yeah, I see it. Alrighty, though, let's go ahead and get into it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome in and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bennell, and alongside me is my co-host Elijah Span. Back after a crazy divisional round in the NFL. We're going to be talking about that and a bit more. But first, make sure to follow us over on social media over at GTD_sports. Other than TikTok, we are at GTDsports.com. Check out our personal accounts you can see on screen, or if you're listening to the audio, we are at Ryan Bennell 8 and at Elijah Span 19. And last but not least, be sure to go over on our website, gtdsports.com, where you can find a whole network of shows like our own Going the Distance podcast, Elijah's show. We got Noah and Zach's show on there who were just on our last episode. So be sure to go and check that out. We have a decent amount to talk about. It's been, like I said, a wild weekend in the divisional round. Nothing really stands out in the sports world other than football. So at the current moment, at least, so we're really going to be talking about football, and more football for the most part today. We're going to talk about a little segment doing food for thought, where we break down some questions we have from the weekend and maybe debate those a little back and forth. And then we're just going to simply go through each game: Bengals, Titans, I almost said Saints, Niners, and Packers, so on and so forth. But first, we're going to start how we always do on Tuesday or Monday now. Oops, new schedule, Monday. How we always do with the highlight and low light from the weekend. Mine should be pretty obvious, so I'm going to go ahead and hand this one over to Elijah.
Yeah, mine would probably just be like division round in and of itself. Last week, super wild card round was not that super.
Yeah.
I don't think there was really any good games except for the Cowboys game, and we all know how I felt about that one.
It was pretty predictable, yeah, how the weekend would have gone.
And then, is there any other games that were even tight?
I mean, you could say the Bengals Raiders were tight because like they had.
Oh, that was a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, it was not
but
definitely.
Not the
Niners were more of a sweat, I think.
Right. And then my other one would be, so I was living in my new apartment last week, where I am right now. And I found a new show to put on while I'm just like passively unpacking. And I remember my friends last year really got really big into Survivor. And I never got into it, but I was just like, sure, whatever, I'll put it on. And I am hooked.
Did you start from like season 1, or are you watching like the more recent ones?
No, I started from season 1. I was like, let's start with the beginning, because I like watching old shit too, like this, like
it's commitment, bro.
Well, because like I like seeing like the differences in like how they dress, how they talk, like how they act. Like I'm in season 1, like there was one of the contestants was gay, and it was like something that they talked about, and it was like kind of like a deal. It was a big deal.
Yeah, because that was for like Survivor season 1 was probably like goddamn 1830.
It was the year 2000, so it was 22 years ago.
Okay, I thought it was longer than that. They've been doing like 2 seasons a year. I was obviously exaggerating, but like,
yeah,
okay.
No, yeah, no. So like,
I mean, I could see that though in 2000 even.
Yeah, so sure. Like, and then like another contestant had like a kid out of wedlock, and it was like they were like talking about it. And I'm like, oh wow, like that used to be. I forgot that used to be an issue. So I like watching it for cool shit like that too. But also too, the shit talk on that show is just next level. They'll be like,
don't they basically just like eliminate each other and like they kind of have to vote each other out?
Yeah, and they have to like do like alliances, and like one of them was like, oh, I have a alliance with Susan. Me and her to agree to like stick it out together towards the end. And then it'll go like right to the other person that she's talking about. And it's like, yeah, me and Stacey had an alliance, but I'm voting her out next time we don't get immunity. It's like, it's awesome.
It's good TV.
It's great TV. So yeah, that's been great. I'm hooked.
Yeah, I may need to check that out, but I feel like also I'm kind of worried to check it out because with 40 plus seasons, if I really like it, then I feel like I'll just binge that shit forever.
You can just put it on. Like it's something
that's true. Kind of like
if you just need like background noise or something. If you're just like, I want to play on my phone, but I don't want to feel like I'm alone.
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's one of those for sure.
All right. What's your you got a low light?
Oh yeah. I'm broke. So
that was costly. Blunt.
Yeah. I spent like $300 on move-in shit at Target. That was nice. Just a whole bunch of moving in and moving out expenses that I've had to incur. And money's tight, so that's definitely a low light.
It'd be like that, well, especially just because you just moved in and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
hey, man, soon to the moon, rich and famous, easy peasy.
Yep.
All right. So I think my highlight, like I said, should be pretty obvious from the divisional round weekend, and I got 3 words: who fucking day, baby. The Cincinnati Bengals are in the AFC Championship game. I genuinely am having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that the Bengals are 1 game away from making a Super Bowl after winning 2 games 2 years ago and fucking like 4 games last year. Like, it's hard to come to terms with, but like I've said time in and time out, Joe Burrow is that guy. He is the savior of the franchise. I saw this funny meme that was like the domino meme, like starting from tiny to big. And the smallest one was benching Andy Dalton on his birthday. And then the biggest domino was Joe Burrow leading the Bengals to an AFC Championship game. So it's all worked out in our favor the last couple of years. But hopefully we can continue. Hopefully we can get there. I'm a little nervous. But wait, what'd you say, Elijah?
I forgot that y'all did that because that was Zach Taylor's first year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It made me not like him, bro.
Yeah, he was like on the hot seat bad. Even like 4 games into this year.
Dude, yeah, definitely. I mean, if they didn't have, I mean, I don't even know, because like nobody expected us to have a winning season. I don't even think the Bengals front office expected us to have a winning season. No. So like, I think as long as they just didn't have like a massive turd year, like 2 to 4 wins, then he would have probably continued. But yeah, he was definitely on the hot seat coming into this year. But now I think he's locked and loaded. He's ready to keep going.
Yeah, because y'all's over under for the season for Vegas was like 5.5, right?
I think so. Yeah, either 4.5 or 5.5.
So 6 or 7 wins would have been considered a pretty modest success for the Bengals.
Overachieving.
With that being said, how would you feel about a playoff exit in Arrowhead on Sunday? How upset would you be knowing that really you shouldn't even be here in the first place?
So obviously I'm gonna be sad, like if the Bengals get out, but because I've already been asked this too, and I've thought, I really don't see myself being that butthurt. I really feel like I'll be kind of okay with it. I'll come to terms with like this was our best season since 1988, and I just got to witness it, with Joe Burrow at the helm. So I'll take it for what it is, but at the same time, you can't really, not to have like an athlete mentality, but you can't be satisfied, like if they've made it this far, they got to keep going. Like they can't just be like, all right, guys, we did it. We got this. We got here. We made the AFC Championship game. Like they got to get to the Super Bowl now. So, and the Chiefs, I think we have a chance. Like, I don't want to sound delusional, but I really think we have a chance. So I will be upset, but I won't be as devastated as I would have been for like a first round playoff exit. That's what I really was nervous for.
Yeah, and too, it's like you guys kind of have like a little bit of Atlanta Hawks last year in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Maybe even a little bit of Cincinnati just making the college football playoff, and it's like, you know what? Hey,
we have nothing to lose. The Bengals truly have nothing to lose. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. This is their 4th straight AFC Championship game. First NFL team to ever do that. And
at home.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah, to host it.
Yeah. New England's done it for 4 years.
And so everybody in the world is expecting Mahomes to, do his magic and get to the Super Bowl again. But I don't know. I feel like we already beat the Chiefs in the regular season. And I know it's super hard to beat a team twice, especially when it's the damn Chiefs on the road in the playoffs. So I'm not really taking that first game into account whatsoever. I'm kind of looking at this as a whole new ball game. So yeah, I don't know. I believe, I'm at that slight delusional state where I'm just like, we've done what nobody believed we could. So why can't we prove them wrong again?
What do you think about the spread?
What is the spread? I haven't even looked.
7.
No. Bro, you're kidding. Dude, I'm taking Bengals all day on that.
Yeah.
That's free.
I was thinking like in my head too. I was like, dude, because when that Chiefs Bills game was going on, which we'll get to later, I was like, dude, the winner of this, I was like, if the Bills spread is like 6 or 7 against the Bengals, I'm still gonna hammer the Bills because I felt like the Bills would just blow out the Bengals.
Dude, see, I didn't want to play. I didn't know who I would have rather played. That's the thing.
You wouldn't have rather played either of them.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Both of them is. I feel like that, which we'll get to later, kind of was like. I feel like that could have been like the pseudo Super Bowl. You know, that was basically the Super Bowl matchup. If it wasn't for AFC and NFC.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of teams were like these were like a lot of people were saying like these were the two best teams in the NFL.
Yeah,
but
especially at this point in the season. But also, I mean, everybody thought that about the Packers, and then
yeah, and the NFC is just loaded. So no, but yes, but no, no, but yes.
yeah.
But no, I think that's the perfect spread. I was like in my head because I was like it's going to be like 6 or 7 points probably. Because Chiefs have been there before, been there, done this, and
Yeah,
the
multiple
O-line
times.
for the Bengals is just awful.
Oh my god, that was like an all-time bad performance, bro. 9 sacks. I was freaking out the whole game because I thought Joe Burrow was gonna get hurt.
There was he came up slow. I think
Yeah.
after one of the sacks, he like grabbed his knee and he was like looked like there may have been just the tiniest limp, and I was like, uh-oh. And then
Dude, and also the fucking refs, they let a couple plays where they blew it dead for say like a false start, and they just let it go on to where Burrow got hit and they just didn't call anything. I'm like, dude, you can't just let him take hits like that from these 300-pound dudes. Like, if the play's not even going on. But
at this point, I'm convinced Joe Burrow just likes it.
Joe Brady, it fuels it. No, honestly, a couple of them, like he got up and he just looked pissed, bro. He was ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, though, we'll get to the Bengals game in a sec. But my low light from the weekend would be one. I was trying to go to the Bengals game, but my friends are lame and nobody wants to go with me, so I can't go to Arrowhead. But two is I downloaded NBA 2K22 the other day because it was on sale for like 60% off. So I was like, okay. And I've been playing my career, right? And judge me if you must, but I spent $20 to like upgrade my guy at the start because they make him so dog shit, dude. It's
Yeah,
like you can't even play
they
with
bait
him.
you.
Yeah. And so I did that. And then I after I do that, I load into my third game of the season or something. And then all of a sudden, it's just glitched out where the players, first of all, the box score says it's Gonzaga versus Syracuse, and all the players aren't real people. And they're not, there's no box score, there's no time, there's nothing. And they're just shooting at a basket that's in the middle of the court that's not even there. And like they're just freaking out and everybody's going, and like there's no way I can play the game. It's only like that player, that mode. And I'm like, I'm trying to email 2K support and shit and be like, dude, either give me my money back or fix this game. Like, what the fuck?
You should tweet at them.
They emailed me back, so I responded again. Now I'm just waiting back because they were like, try this. If this doesn't work, and it didn't work, then they were like, email us more details. So I did. Hopefully, I don't know. I would be okay if they just refunded me the VC, so I didn't have to deal with it. But is what it is. I was just hoping to play some 2K, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, on to more football, though. On to what we're actually here to talk about. So before we get into the specific games themselves, we're going to do a segment we haven't done in a while called Food for Thought, which is essentially just questions. I mean, food for thought. You know, these are questions open-ended where we can discuss, give our take, debate back and forth, whatever you want. So first up on this list, talking about the quarterback situation from that Chiefs-Bill game. Is Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen the new Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback duo of this generation? Like, will they become the next two great quarterbacks in the league?
Yes.
I think so too.
It's got to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
You also have to throw in Burrow and Herbert as well.
I think those would be like I think those would be set like tier 2 in the sense of like a Drew Brees caliber, you know, where Drew Brees in his prime was still great, but he was never Rodgers or Brady.
So would it be Brady Manning though for Pat and Josh Allen? And then next year, Rodgers Breeze is Burrow, Herbert.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
I could see that, I guess. Yeah, because whenever Manning was in it, true. Yeah, but I would even say that Rodgers has kind of surpassed Manning. I think Rodgers has
for
had a better
legacy.
career. Yeah, legacy just in general.
Manning's been to more Super Bowls.
Who's been at 2, and one of them was
4, 1, 2.
Oh, 1-2. My bad. Sorry, but one of them was just straight up defense in Denver. That was, and then also that the game where they got blown out. Forgot about that. But I still think Aaron Rodgers has surpassed him though, in terms of who's a better quarterback. Maybe okay. I guess legacy is different.
Rodgers is more gifted, I would say.
Yeah, because legacy is a different argument.
Rodgers just can do things that no other guy has ever been able to do ever.
Yeah, even Tom Brady can't do some shit he does.
Right. Tom Brady just beats you with his mind.
Yeah. And his 10-yard passes.
Right. Exactly. But hey, it's got him to 7 Super Bowls. So
I know. I'm not dissing it. Yeah. I mean, he's the best. He does it better than anybody.
But no, yeah, I would say Mahomes and Allen are destined to become 1 and 2.
I think so too. Yeah. Right? And Mahomes people are already talking about Mahomes being number 1. So
yeah, no, well, that's been going on for about 2 years now. It's like Mahomes and Rodgers at 1 and 2. Just however you're feeling, pick who. Josh Allen, he had that, he was decent his first 2 years, kind of inconsistent, didn't really know who he was fully. Yeah, last year he had that crazy season where you're just okay, can he back it up? He clearly has.
Yeah.
So he is elite. He is.
Dude, and he also he's been clutch too. I mean, he delivered in the moments. It's so frustrating. Well, again, we'll get to the game in a bit, but it's just so frustrating that they didn't get a chance on overtime to even get possession.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a shame. But no, I 100% agree, though. I think Mahomes and Allen will definitely, once Brady and Rodgers are out of the league, they'll be the 1 and 2 for sure. They'll be the guys, the pinnacle, the example. But I would love to see Burrow, get up there. I think Burrow and Herbert will be 3 and 4 right behind him. All right, so sticking with quarterback conversation, has Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers' playoff magic run out? Are they just simply too old? Do they have any more left in their tank to get to a Super Bowl run potentially? Or do you think that's it for these guys?
No, they definitely have more Super Bowl runs in them.
I agree. I think they still have all the same, playoff magic, whatever you want to call it, that they've had for years.
Rodgers is interesting though because if he stays in Green Bay or not, that's another question on the list, right?
Yeah, that's the next question.
So I'll just talk about Brady. No, I mean there's talk that I guess this week all of a sudden is he doesn't know if he's gonna retire or not. He's kind of throwing it out there, which is crazy because this is the first nugget of maybe I'm gonna retire. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna go out like that. He's got 1 more year left on his deal. He's always said 45. Always.
I agree. I don't think he's going out.
Another year at least. I mean, at this rate, I think he's going to play till he's 50.
That would be impressive, dude.
I want him to.
I do too, just for the record's sake.
Just to see a 50-year-old man sling it.
Because he would probably still be. The thing is, though, when you talk about him retiring,
he's off his game.
Yeah, he's still playing phenomenally. I mean, he led the league in a few categories this year.
Passing yards and touchdowns.
Yeah, major ones.
Be specific.
I was about to say, I knew they were pretty important. I just didn't want to say it without being for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's playing great football. There's no reason to retire right now. He's not getting injured,
Yeah, no. And then I think really the only reason why the Bucs lost is why I said that the Rams had a pretty good chance to upset them. Was that the roster itself was just too banged up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They only had Gronk and Mike Evans to throw to, really. And then
Tyler Johnson looked pretty bad. I thought he would have had a breakout game, kind of, but yikes.
No, they're terrible.
He dropped a few balls. Yeah.
So and Giovanni Bernard wasn't there. Leonard Fournette was kick ass.
Oh, playoff Lenny, dude. What do you mean, dude? He has to be kick ass.
But I mean, other than that, they just really didn't have anything going for him. So I think that might have been it. that was a big part of the problem, and just offensive line was like the Rams were getting after him. I mean, he had a bloody lip. It's just
I was so ready for the bloody lip memes after he pulled off the comeback, dude. Like, oh, Brady's a hero playing through injury.
Right. No, I just think injuries kind of got to him, and they almost won that game, which sucked that they didn't get the comeback because I had money on them. Even though I said I was going to bet the Rams, I flip-flopped.
Yeah, dude, that's the worst way to lose a bet, too.
Always trust the gut, dude. Because I was like, nah, man. So I think my friend was like, "You're actually going to fade Brady in the playoffs?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, he's like, and I was talking also about like how I bet the Chiefs in last year's Super Bowl. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I faded Brady in the playoffs." I was like, "I'm not going to repeat that same mistake." And then it burned me.
Dude, I kind of, whenever you were because you texted me about it whenever the game was going on at first, and whenever the Pats were down, or not the Pats, sorry, the Bucks were down, I think 10-0 it was. I bet plus 6.5, and then it was 27-3, and I'm like, all right, well, shit, there goes those 2 units. And then lo and behold, the comeback worked in my favor, but
yeah, I should have double dipped on the line.
I almost doubled down again whenever they were down 27-3, though. Like, because the spread was like plus 20, and I was like, dude, no shot Brady's going to lose by more than 20 in a playoff game.
Right.
So,
you're right.
All right, though. Moving down the list, we already kind of teased this question a little bit, but on to Aaron Rodgers in particular. Was this Aaron Rodgers' last game in Green Bay?
So I've always been on the side of that Rodgers is going to actually stay.
Really? I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah, you're on the opposite side there.
Yeah.
But this game, the way it ended,
yeah,
kind of feels like he's just going to dip.
It just makes me feel like the way they got eliminated makes me feel like he's leaning towards leaving. But I don't know.
It's
you never know what he's thinking.
No, you never know. I still think I'm still going to stick to my guns and say that he's going to be a Packer next year. But I am a lot less confident than I was a week ago about that.
I bet there's somewhere I could do this, but I want to place a bet on this. I want to take my prediction is he's going to be a Denver Bronco.
That's the hot pick. So you would probably
be the favorite. But a lot of people have been rumored even to have him going to the Steelers. And I think that would just be absurd.
Steelers is another one. Well, because him and Mike Tomlin were like complimenting each other when they played. They're kind of sucking each other off there.
Could also go to the Seahawks in a Russell Wilson deal.
Fuck that. I think he would look.
It's unlikely, definitely, but
nah, I don't.
It's just an old quarterback for an old quarterback.
You know who I think could really use Aaron Rodgers though? The Titans.
I don't know, dude. I think Tannehill's just good enough to where like I know he just massively choked in the playoffs, like horrendous, but
nah, fuck that. I think the Titans have to go Rams mode.
What about the Giants, dude? The Giants have so many first-round draft picks. Like, what if they just, make a big-ass package for him, include Daniel Jones, who's still young,
Giants have 2. Well, the Packers still have Jordan Love, so I don't think that Daniel Jones.
The little bit that we've seen of Jordan Love doesn't look too promising.
Yeah, but the little bit of Jordan Love has a lot more promising looks than the lot of bit that we've seen from Daniel Jones.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I'm still on the Daniel Jones hype train. I still feel like Danny Dimes is just gonna bust out and have like a breakout year eventually.
I gave up this year.
I kind of did. Like this was like my last straw, but for some reason, I'm just gonna give it one more year.
He's your Carson Wentz because I'm always on Carson.
Yeah, I remember in the preseason.
I'll see something about Carson. Like I'll be like, damn, Carson Wentz fucking sucks. Then I'll see something like him do like a good play. And I'm like, oh, damn, he is pretty good though.
He's getting
but
better.
He's not. He's
bad. That's because Daniel Jones, can use his legs, but then he just makes like throws where you're just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, dog? Like,
yeah.
All right. Anyway, another quarterback. We already kind of talked on this one a little bit, so we won't spend too much time on it. But same thing with Rodgers. Was this Tom Brady's last game as an NFL quarterback? Like you said, he kind of hinted in the post-game presser that, he was considering. He didn't really know what his future holds. But again, I think he's coming back. I don't see any reason, statistically especially, for him to stop playing football at the moment. And it seems like, with his TB12 diet that we always joke about, his body's probably at the peak of physical shape at his age especially. So I see no reason for him to retire unless he's just truly tired of playing football, which I could understand. I mean, it's a lot on you. The NFL schedule with training camp, everything all year round. Like, he's old, So what do you think? I mean, I know you probably agree.
Yeah, absolutely not. There's no way Brady retires.
Yeah.
Just not a chance.
At least I don't see it happening until like 2025 at the earliest.
Maybe at the end of the next year, because he's always said it's been that way since he was like 37. Like this has been the numbers 45. He wants to play until he's 45. Like I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that after he beat Seattle. Like, so this has been around for a long time, that like this was his goal to play until he's 45. So I think after 45 though, it's going to turn into a little bit of a Big Ben situation. It's like, is he going to retire this year? Is he not? Is he going to or maybe even a little bit of, I could see him pulling a Favre, retiring and then coming back too.
Yeah, he might be that kind of guy. I can see that with Aaron Rodgers too, even whenever he's done.
Yeah, a lot. Some people have said that a lot too. It's like, yeah, which something could piss Rodgers off. He goes out for an entire year and then comes back.
No, God damn it, dude. The Russian bots are back in our comment section.
That's how you know we're coming up.
Or whatever. I don't even know what language that is, dude.
It's definitely Russian.
It's like Egyptian hieroglyphs, dude. All right. Anyway, next question on the list. We got, will the Rams become just the second team to host a Super Bowl they will also play in? And this would be happening in back-to-back seasons with the Bucs last year.
I think so. Hashtag NFL rigged.
I also think so. And it's funny you said that rigged, because we have a question about that on the list. So we'll get to that in a second. But I think the Niners have they've run their course as the underdog. I don't really know if they can pull off another upset. I know that they have the Rams number, though. They always play super well against the Rams. They beat them twice in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, it's hard to beat a team twice. It's even harder to beat a team 3 times in the NFL. And the Rams are hot right now. They're clicking. So I think the Rams will do it, which kind of scares me, because, if the Bengals make it, then it's going to be in LA, basically a home game. But then the more I think about it, I'm not really too worried, because there's like barely any Rams fans in LA. So Bengals might pack that shit 50-50.
Yeah, no. Well, the Super Bowl is mostly corporate sponsors anyway that go to the game. It's not actual fans.
Oh, well, yeah, there's fans that go.
There's fans that go, but like most of the people that go to the Super Bowl are just rich or like get tickets from.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
it's not like fans of the team, because like you have to buy your tickets to the Super Bowl well in advance.
Let's see. Because I looked at Super Bowl tickets yesterday just for like, hey, fuck it. If the Bengals make it, I would definitely go. And Super Bowl tickets were like $7,000 right now.
Exactly.
The cheapest one. But I just Googled it, and the cheapest tickets to Super Bowl 55 last year were $4,025.
Last year's Super Bowl?
Yeah, last year's Super Bowl. I would, if the Bengals make the Super Bowl, I would be willing to sell my body. I don't care what it takes, bro. I'm funding that trip somehow, dude. I'll hit an insane parlay, dude. Just throw like $200 on an 8-legger and just pray. And then if it hits, I'm going to the Super Bowl. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But also then if it doesn't, I'm in pain. But no, I don't know what I'm gonna do if the Bengals go to the Super Bowl. I don't know how I'm gonna act. Like I said, we'll see when the time comes. I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, I hope y'all do, but
I did too, bro. Fuck.
I personally don't think so.
I don't think so either. I am going into this weekend fully expecting to lose the game.
Yeah, because it's just like, remember last year's Chiefs-Bills game, AFC Championship, where people were like really liking the Bills, and then people are like, I don't know, like the Bills are really good, and a lot of people, including myself, were like, yeah, but it's the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs are going to this game.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's what we're looking at here.
I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it's going to end in a similar fashion to the Bills game did. Like, I think I'm probably going to end up, being heartbroken because it's going to be like a last second Mahomes magic drive or something. But for some reason, like I had a feeling in the Bills game, and I was dead ass wrong. But I feel like the Bengals might have a lead. It might come down to that last second drive, and then Jesse Bates is going to pick off Mahomes and seal the deal, baby. And then Burrow's going to come out and kneel it. Easy peasy. But I don't know. Honestly, though, in reality, I am expecting to lose.
Yeah, and some of my theory goes to like at least one championship game every year turns out to be a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like go back and look at the games.
That's what I'm worried about, really.
There's usually one, and if I had to pick one to be a good game, it's going to be this Niners-Rams game.
I think so too. Just because, I mean, how they play each other historically.
Yeah,
they always play each other so close. Yeah,
they know each other so well. It's their third time playing this year, and I think they match up better well.
Yeah, I do too. I really do. But Bengals beat them in the regular season, so who knows what can happen? I didn't think that was possible either, and they did it. So, all right, on to the next. Was the Bills-Chiefs game crazy ending? For those that don't know, it literally went into overtime. Chiefs they won the coin toss, got the ball first, drove down, scored a touchdown, into the game. The Bills didn't even get a chance to have the ball. So, was that Bills-Chiefs game enough for the NFL to finally consider changing their bullshit overtime rules?
They have to, at least for the playoffs.
Do you think they would do like a different set of rules for the playoffs than the regular season?
I mean, that's how these current rules started out.
That's true. I don't like that though,
I'd be fine with it.
I don't know, because
I'd be fine because this is like, I don't know. Week 3, like these are fine for the regular season for the most part because a lot of these rules come down to like, the fact that you have to limit the amount of playing time, right? To limit the risk of injury. Yeah. So that's why these rules are the way that they are. So guys,
I get that. Hurt. I know it's different than college because, like, college can go like 7 fucking overtimes with touchdowns. Well, they changed it now to the 2-point conversion thing, which I'm a fan of.
Mac, shut the fuck up. Hey, sorry. Anyway, no, I think it should stay the same for the regular season. They change it up for playoffs. That would be my opinion.
That'd be interesting to see. I think I would rather them just change it altogether because I was looking at the stats, Ian Rappaport, he tweeted out some stats on the coin toss in overtime games. And since the new rules were implemented, and I think it was like 2012, of all the regular season games, whoever wins the coin toss wins the game at a 53% clip, which isn't too crazy. But then you look at the playoff games, and out of the 11 playoff games since the new rules have been implemented, 10 out of the 11 games, the team that wins the coin toss goes on to win the game. So it's a huge factor. And unfortunately, the stats don't include like numbers on games where the other team didn't get a chance to even have possession. So they might be a little bit skewed in favor to argue against the current rules. But I personally have always been against these rules. And games like this just really highlight it. I want the college rules. And I know, like you said, how it's all about preventing injury and maintaining like the time of play and not, putting too much strain on their bodies. But in college, the new rules especially, I really like. And a lot of people hate them, the new college rules for college. But I think they're genius, where it's 2 overtimes. Well, say the game does go to 2 overtimes. Everybody gets a chance with the ball. If you get a field goal, the other team gets a field goal. It goes on to the double overtime. Then if you get a touchdown, the other team gets a touchdown. It goes to triple overtime. But now in triple overtime, it's just 2-point conversions. It's just one play. You have to match each other. Or if you get it and you stop them, you win. It's that simple. So I think that limits those games that go to like 7 overtimes, just, continuing to run plays, run their offense. It'll just come down to one play. So I would like the NFL to adopt those rules.
Yeah. You know what would be cool though if they did it from the 7.
From the 7, that would be interesting too. Yeah, just one kind of longer play. But you could.
Yeah.
Some people argue that would be easier to get in the end zone. It gives you more room to work with.
Oh, more room for passing.
Yeah. I would be okay with that though. I think that would make it more interesting.
Yeah, but what if they're just doing like at the end of that Bills Chiefs game? If that was the case, they were just doing QB sneak after QB sneak after QB sneak because both those defensive lines were just gassed.
Yeah.
So
but it's only I guess that's true. Yeah, because they could just get it in that one play. But I mean, it's from the 2, so you still, if you're gonna truly QB sneak, getting 2 yards is kind of tough. QB draw, maybe not so much.
It would probably be that, at least with the Bills. Josh Allen, that's what I would do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they did so many draws.
Run QB power after QB power play. But I don't know. They just have to change it. The offense should at least get a chance. I know defense matters. That's why they are the way that they are, because you have to get a stop in order to win the game. But as soon as the Chiefs won the coin toss, I was like, oh, Chiefs won.
Yeah, the Chiefs were celebrating. I mean, everybody was jumping up on the sidelines, and Josh Allen after the game said, "If we had won the coin toss, we would have done the same thing."
Exactly. No, 100%.
Because I mean, the way the offenses were working at that point, and whoever got the ball was going to score. I mean, it was that simple.
100%. And it's just like I don't like the fact that a playoff game is going to be decided by a coin toss at that point.
Yeah,
essentially.
Also, I had money on the Bills, which was fucking bullshit. They lost, but anyway,
I took the over.
That was heartbreaking in of itself. But I just feel bad for the Bills. I mean, losing to the Chiefs twice in a row, especially in that fashion, dude, that's tough. All right, on to the next though. Speaking of the 1 seeds in the Packers and the Titans, both losing this weekend, is the bye week in the playoffs as big of an advantage as it's made out to be?
Yeah, 100%.
I agree. I think that this is kind of a bad example of it. Because a lot of people were talking about Titans Mike Vrabel, the coach. He's like 4-0 coming off of bye weeks and whatnot. But historically, I mean, yes, it should be a huge advantage. You literally get a full week plus, like 2 weeks of rest over the other team who just had to play another game and potentially lose a couple guys getting banged up, like the Bengals did. I mean, the Titans definitely had the advantage there. So I agree that it's still a big advantage.
Yeah. So the numbers show that throughout history, like the bye week, 150% matters.
Yeah. All right. And then last question, you kind of teased this earlier, but was this Rams-Bucks game scripted? We could talk about all the games being scripted, but Rams and Bucks has had a lot of buzz on social media about, they were scripting it for Brady, and then all of a sudden they saw on social media everybody was talking about, oh, this shit's rigged, Brady's coming back, and they were like, fuck it, Stafford, go off, I don't know.
I did have a thought in my head that when I bet on the Bucks, I put all the scenarios in my head where the Bucks would lose, and I was like, wait, LA is hosting the Super Bowl. The NFL definitely wants more NFL fans in LA. The only way to get that is for their teams to be good. So put the Rams in the Super Bowl again in LA in their new stadium.
See, I hate that because it makes me actually think it's rigged.
It makes a lot of sense, right?
It does. I mean, you're right. It definitely
makes a lot of sense for the NFL to make, because I think it was week 18, like the Rams-Niners game. I think the stadium was 60% 49ers game, and that's got to be embarrassing for LA at the least.
Especially their new stadium.
I mean, they're going to pack that stadium no matter what, but I'm sure the NFL would much rather have it be LA fans than opposing team fans for that to happen, because it's just embarrassing all around for that to happen.
Yeah, it always comes down to money, and I mean, LA is such a big market, so. And LA has never really been a big football city, They never really cared.
It's a trash sports town. I'm gonna say
it. I get they're Lakers. I mean, really, the Lakers is the only thing LA is devoted to.
Yeah.
Today.
And the Dodgers, but the Dodgers are
That's true.
Good.
That's true. Yeah.
Lakers, even when the Lakers are bad, it's still all about the Lakers.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the jewel of the city in terms of sports.
Right. It's not like New York, where New York's New York's a fucking sports town. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Even when they suck, they're through thick and thin, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Philly is a big sports town.
Yeah, Philly. I would say Cleveland also is pretty devoted.
Yeah, but who cares about Cleveland? Chicago's a big sports town.
Yeah, but fuck Cleveland. Hey, LeBron cares about Cleveland, man.
I don't think he does.
Not so much. He cares about
No.
Akron.
Yeah, he left him twice. I don't know how much he really cares about him.
No, but in terms of being scripted, yeah, like I've always argued that it's a little far-fetched, you know, to say that leagues like this are scripted. I don't necessarily want to feed into the hype or the, you know, media hullabaloo about this because it's really just narratives for conversation. But I mean, who knows at the end of the day, you know, there's definitely some sketchy shit that has happened. And this is kind of one of those things, you know, like you bring up a lot of good points with it's in LA, they need a bigger fan base, and the NFL always comes down to money. So I don't know. And I saw also, I forgot the name of the player. It was a former NFL player that went out and tweeted, like, the NFL makes us sign non-disclosure agreements. This shit's rigged. They just don't want us to say anything and get it out. I'm tired of hiding it. I'm ready to talk. Like, this was years ago, though, and I don't think anything really came of it. And I think that was kind of just bullshit. I don't know what that guy was on.
I keep on seeing things that pop up. Or I saw like also this is true too. The NFL is no longer considered a sport. It's considered a business, or it's considered entertainment business.
I mean, no shit. Football is the sport. NFL is a business.
No. But like other sports leagues are still classified as sports.
See, to me, that's weird. I feel like they shouldn't
the NFL,
be. You know?
It happened in like 2012, 2013. They're basically classified the same way as the WWE.
Yeah, I mean, but I get that though, in the sense that, I mean, I don't know. It depends on your point of view, because I've also seen like videos on TikTok of people's like, you know, pointing that same thing out, that the NFL is classified as an entertainment business, and they're like, oh, this shit's obviously rigged because look at this. But I'm surprised actually that you said that like the NBA and other stuff are considered like a sport, because I feel like the league itself should be considered a business operation, but the sport obviously would be whatever the sport is.
I don't know. I choose not to believe it because probably my favorite hobby of watching football is kind of ruined from that point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
There definitely is a lot of things that the NFL that happens.
That's why I like college football, dude.
Yeah,
college football is becoming more of a money business. You know, it's becoming a monopoly with ESPN and shit influencing everything.
It's closing in on too. All their favorite things are just getting ruined.
Hey, if the NFL is rigged, though, hear me out. It would be a hell of a storyline for Joe Burrow, you know, the media star boy, to lead the team in his first full season to the Super Bowl. The Bengals of all teams. That would be a hell of a storyline for the media. Yeah, I'm okay with it if it happens, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
if it's rigged in their favor, I'm okay.
Yeah, but who would it be more rigged for, Joe Burrow or LA?
Oh, LA, definitely in that case. Yeah. But I mean, that's NFC. It doesn't really pertain to us. But I guess in the Super Bowl it would. They would probably
in the
win.
Super Bowl it would.
So, hey, I mean, they were my preseason pick to win it all. So not looking too shabby for me.
No.
Except for that Bills game. All right, though. Let's talk about these games specifically. Let's go ahead, break down some of this divisional round. Starting out in the AFC with the Bengals and Titans. So Bengals won that game 19-16. Very slow offensive game. A lot of field goals. And the Bengals really won this game thanks to Evan McPherson, who, first off, before we go any further, I just want to talk about Evan McPherson as a rookie. Drafted in the 5th round. And a lot of fans thought we were crazy for drafting a kicker. But this kid has been phenomenal. He's 9 for 11 on yards that are 50-plus yarders. And he's currently 8 for 8 on field goals in the playoffs. He's gone 4 for 4 in both games so far. And did you see Joe Burrow in the post-game presser talk about Evan McPherson, like in his pre-kick speech type thing?
Yeah, because he's like, looks like we're going to the AFC Championship.
Yes, dude. Like, what kind of mentality, bro? Dude, that's beautiful. That's exactly what you want from a kicker. Because I always think about that in situations, you know, where it's, you win this kick, you move on. It's like, what is going through these guys' heads? Because I would be shitting my pants, you know. I would just be all in my head, like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. But these
No,
guys are just on a different level.
that's Joe Burrow in the form of a kicker.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's sick. Good for you that you have that. It's always nice to have that.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was a tough game for Tannehill.
And
I
obviously,
was
3 interceptions.
I was sitting next to my buddy who put $50 on Tannehill to throw an interception. First play of the game, pick. It's like, okay.
That's a way to win a
That's
bet.
crazy.
Shit.
Yeah, my friend won like $400 on just random bets from that game. I was sitting right next to him.
I could not believe that the first play of the game was interception. I was so hyped, dude. I was like, oh my God, dude, this is already going our way, baby. But other than that, dude, the defense just came up huge in general in this game. Like, first play of the game, interception. They also had 2 more interceptions. One of them was like a SWAT pass. Like they blocked it at the line and caught it while the Titans had goal to go and were in scoring position. That was huge. And then also that late game pick, which literally set up the field goal, essentially. Not necessarily, because the Bengals still had 20 yards to get with like 22 seconds. But holy shit, what a play call for that pass to the sideline to Jamar Chase. It was picture perfect, bro. I couldn't believe we actually pulled it off. I was so hyped.
No, that was good. Yeah, because I had money on Bengals spread and sprinkled a little bit of money line on that bad boy. So
yeah, I had
that was
like
nice for me.
2.5 units on it.
Yeah. No, that was
sprinkled money line.
That was just Joe Burrow being Joe Burrow.
Yeah, with that throw right there. Oh,
he willed that game. I mean, his offensive line was just awful.
Yeah,
like
9 sacks, dude.
Honestly, the Titans shouldn't have lost that game.
No, they shouldn't. No, I mean, we literally gave it to him with that. Like 9 sacks is what a good offensive line should allow in half of a season. But we just gave that up in a playoff game on the road. But I will give the Titans credit. I mean, their front 7 was playing amazing. Like, also Burrow, there was a few moments where I was kind of frustrated where I thought Burrow should have thrown it away because he could have. He just didn't.
Yeah.
So that was a little annoying, but I can't really knock Burrow too much because he just did so much good for us. So also, Zach Taylor has been huge, bro.
Yeah, he's been night and day.
Different. Yeah, he looks completely different. His play calling, like, I already mentioned that play call to set up the field goal. That was all Zach Taylor on that one. He said it in the post-game presser. And he's also had a lot of unique plays on like 3rd and short situations where, they'll do a play action. And I'm like, no, why are you not running it on 3rd and 1? And then it's like a 20-yard catch to T. Higgins. I'm like, never doubted it for a second. Thank you, Zach Taylor. Like,
yeah.
So he has been night and day. Yeah.
Yeah. And then another thing that the Titans messed up too is that they should have let Deontay Foreman run the ball more. They gave the ball too much to Derrick Henry.
Okay, but you can't really. I agree that Foreman should have had more than 4 carries, but he had more yards than Derrick Henry did with 4 carries than Henry had 20. Exactly. I am very surprised at how well the Bengals contained Henry.
No, he just wasn't the same. He was probably like, 70-80%?
He was. I think he was still banged up. The Titans made it out to seem like he was 100%, but I think he was banged up.
He was not 100%.
I mean, his snap count was insane, though. We played like almost 90% of plays, probably.
Yeah, because it was a playoff game, and that's their guy. But
True.
I think that Vrabel should have laid off the gas pedal and probably did at least 50-50 because maybe too, and you could see it as the game kind of wore on too. Like usually when Derrick Henry, when the game goes on, he keeps getting stronger. That was not the case.
Yeah,
he was not invincible.
No, I agree. I think even like a 50-50 share could have been more effective for them. Maybe Henry, whenever he was out there, could have pushed for those more yards even. But Foreman, it's hard to say though, because Foreman, of those 4 rushes, his like 68 yards came, all of it, like 50 of them were on one play. So, but he did. I mean, his yards per carry were insane in that game compared to Henry, who finished with 3.1.
Still, he should have been out there more.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's useful. He's like a Derrick Henry 2.0. He's just a little bit smaller, a little bit faster, more versatile. I don't know if I want to say more versatile because Henry is just, he's Henry. Like, he's just in a league of his own.
Right.
But yeah, in case you guys missed our last episode we had Zach and Noah from the Betting on the Rocks and the Blanket Coverage podcast on here, who are both Titans fans. We made a little bet, Zach and I, and Noah was included on it too. So the loser of the game. So if the Bengals were to lose, I would have had to have posted a cringy TikTok dance in a Titans jersey every day until an NFL team commented on the video. So thankfully, I don't have to do that. Now Zach and Noah will have to do that. Make sure you guys, Zach already posted right before we started recording. Zach posted his day one video with the Bengals shirt on. So his is at Betting on the Rocks. Be sure to go and check that video out. I thought it was hilarious. So I'm excited to continue that. And I get to keep my pride. I don't have to do all those dances. Instead, I just get to react to them, which will be great. So also in that game, not as important as, Joe Burrow, the defense, and the Henry and everything, but there was a little bit of referee shenanigans in this one. Did you see that controversial interception for the Titans?
Yeah, I think at that point, though, you kind of had to go with the call on the field because he did have control of the ball immediately.
I agree overall
that he kind of caught it at the same time and dragged it. I don't know. That was a tough one. I just think call in the field is the way to go with stuff like that.
Yeah, I could have seen that one going either way. Obviously, as a Bengals fan, I would have wanted it to be an incomplete pass because the ball was literally dragging on the fucking ground. But you can make an argument because his hands were literally trapping it and the ball wasn't shaking or moving at all. Yeah. So I agree with you in the sense that you just got to go with the call on the field. I just wish the ref would have called it incomplete because he saw it drag. So, oh well, it is what it is. We got the dub. On to the next.
Won.
So, do you think, we kind of already talked about it a little bit, but do you think the Bengals have a shot in Arrowhead?
Not really.
No, not even a shot.
It's
like percentage. What do you? I think I give us like a 20% chance to win. Maybe 25.
To win?
To win, yes.
I would give y'all like a 35% chance to cover the spread. And about a 15% chance to win.
Oh shit, dude! I'm getting roasted on TikTok, bro.
Oh really?
Dude, because like I said, that video with Zach. So I duetted Zach's video of like the Titans losing, and I just like did the video like really sped up to make me look funky, and I did like the L dance, and I was like and stuff, just like making fun. And then everybody's in the comments like, "This is why I hate Bengals fans," and like you're making Bengals fans look bad, and I'm like, bro. Fuck you guys, okay? This is my friend. Like, we're just kidding around. Like, what?
TikTok, internet, people on the internet are mean.
Dude, I know, bro.
But, no, yeah. What were we talking about?
I don't care if people hate me. Anyway, no, we were talking about the Bengals having a shot in Arrowhead, the percentage. I give it like a 20% chance to win.
I'm going to go with probably not.
Well, I mean, obviously that would be probably not. Yeah.
No, I'd say like 15% chance to win. Covering the spread, man. I just have a big feel. I just have like a huge feeling that their luck is going to run out and the Chiefs are going to run their shit.
I'm worried about that. I really am worried. But hey, we were down 14-0 to them last time and we came back. So anything is possible.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next. Speaking of the Chiefs, though, Bills and Chiefs, we've talked about this game a little bit, but the Chiefs came out with a crazy 42-36 game in wild fashion. Mahomes with 13 seconds left. That is it. Got down, drove the ball down the field for field goal range. Harrison Butker sent it into overtime. I think this was the game of the year without a doubt. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, what other game would compare? And
it's hard to think off the top of my head, but yeah, I think it's without a doubt definitely the best. One of the best football games I've watched in a long time, I feel like, even years.
Yeah, like the only other game I could think of off the top of my head for like dope divisional round playoff games would be like that Packers-Cardinals game.
Or like the Minneapolis Miracle, maybe.
The Minneapolis Miracle. But remember that Packers-Cardinals game where Rodgers had the 2 Hail Marys and then Larry Fitzgerald became Superman?
Oh, yeah.
So that's definitely one that comes to mind. But really, I mean, of course, it was a 28-3 game, but that's the Super Bowl. It can't really. That's apples and oranges, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But no, that game was sick. and there's like 25 points scored in the final 2 minutes, including OT. I don't know. I mean, we all saw it. We all watched it. We all knew we know what that game was, and that game was sick.
Yeah, it was exactly what you would hope for in like a tight play. It was honestly exactly what you would hope for Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. It was electric.
And as someone who had the over, I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, nice. I should have taken that. I was too scared, bro, because I was like, that's the obvious pick, is the over with these two teams. But
yeah, I was like, you know what? Don't think about it. Just fucking do it. I was like, I hit the over last time. I'm gonna double dip. I'm gonna do it again.
So some more food for thought, though. Do you think the Bills should have tried to go for 2?
Yeah.
On the road, get the win.
Yeah, because like another thing that's been thrown on a lot too is like they should have squibbed. Should have done the squib kick.
Oh yeah, waste some time. Yeah,
get like 2 or 3 more seconds off the clock, which would have been the difference.
For sure.
But I also think that they maybe should have gone for 2. Because like,
but if they didn't get it though, then it would have been like a guaranteed L. I mean, I know they lost in the end, but
they were going to get it.
They probably were with the momentum and everything. They probably would have got it. Yeah.
I would have said, fuck it, go for 2. I'm not taking any chances because the Chiefs couldn't have scored a touchdown.
Yeah, because you're right. They definitely couldn't have scored a touchdown unless there was some fluke Hail Mary, like pitch and toss, hook and ladder type shit. But
right.
Doubt that would have happened. But I've always been, in terms of college football, I've always been a big proponent on when you're on the road, you go for 2 and go for the win. And obviously this was a little bit different of a situation than like the game being tied with the extra point. Like they would have gone up by 3 or 4. But, I'm always in college football. If you're on the road, you go for the win with the hostile environment. You don't want overtime. But if you're at home, you take the tie, you go with the home crowd, you get the hype back. But in the NFL, it's a little bit different. So I don't know necessarily where I stand. But in terms of this game, I do agree that they had the momentum. They probably would have got it. It would have just been such a ballsy call to do that in a playoff game. But I mean, it was 13 damn seconds,
Yeah,
like,
who would have thought?
It was almost like a joke that people were like, oh, you gave Mahomes 13 seconds, but it's not a joke. Like, he did it. He can do it. Like, how did the Bills? I don't understand, though, how their defense just let those 2 passes up.
The prevent defense.
Yeah, they were wide open, too.
Yeah, I mean, they were just soft coverage. Don't let anything over the top. But, they kind of forgot that Tyreek Hill can go 15 yards after the catch after going for 10
in like half a second.
Travis Kelce lives in the middle of the field. So that's tough. Not as bad. That them giving up the field goal with 13 seconds left, though, I still don't think is as bad as the Bucs blitzing on that last play, that bomb to Cooper Kupp.
Oh my God, I know.
Antoine Winfield by himself, one-on-one coverage with Cooper Kupp. Like,
dude, and it was such a bad shift too. Like the corner, like I don't want to say it's on Winfield, but Winfield should have picked him up sooner. Like the way the corner came in from deep, he came in and then let Winfield pick him up deep one-on-one. But
yeah, but that's not the safety's job to go one-on-one with the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL.
You're right.
You know what I mean? That's not his fucking job. That is not what safeties are supposed to do.
It was definitely a blunder. Like it was just
No, that is 100% all on Todd Bowles. And they even said it too during the broadcast. They're like, yeah, Todd Bowles lives and dies by the blitz, but the blitz isn't working. Stafford has been very good against the blitz all season. He was very, very good against the blitz all day. And when the game's on the line, Todd Bowles is like, fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to go for the blitz again and leave Cooper Kupp one-on-one with my safety.
Dude, that was also a dime of a pass too. Like Kupp didn't even have to try for it.
No,
just right in his hands.
It's great. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know. I'd be pissed if I was a Bucs.
Oh, if I was a Bucs fan, dude. Oh my God, that would have been horrifying.
Like, honestly, too, if I was a team with a head coaching position, I wouldn't want Todd Bowles anymore because of that.
I guess, he has been considered for a few head coaching positions, but
yeah, both of them are him and Leftwich.
I know, Leftwich for sure. Yeah, that was definitely rough. I mean, just for the game, the way that the game ended after that crazy would have been historic comeback. Like honestly, they were giving him a free comeback, like a free docu-series with that choke job, But he
Yeah,
just went on.
he would have another episode of Man in the Arena.
Exactly, yeah.
Have you
Just to
seen
talk
any of
about
those?
that.
By
I
the way?
watched the first one.
Crazy, right?
It was pretty good, yeah.
Good,
I need to
good.
keep up with it.
I've seen like 5 or 6.
Wait, I just realized we jumped a game to the Rams Bucks. We just kind of were going on. Let's go ahead and get into the Niners Packers. Sticking with NFC. So Niners Packers, of course, if you don't know, Niners came away with a obscure 13-10 win on the road in Lambeau after scoring 0 offensive touchdowns. Their only touchdown came from a blocked punt with under 5 minutes in the game, which was just super clutch. I mean, you always talk about historically or fundamentally, there's 3 aspects of football: offense, defense, special teams. You win 2 of the 3, you win the game. Their special teams dominated. I mean, they stole the show in this one. Like Robbie Gould has never missed a kick in the playoffs, and he continued his streak. And they came up with a huge block when they needed it to. But what's crazy, the craziest part about this is this was like the exact opposite of an Aaron Rodgers storyline, other than the fact that the Packers choked in the playoffs. But he had the ball with like 4 minutes left, tie game. He had a chance to drive the field, and I think it was a 3-and-out, right?
Yeah.
And he gave the Niners the ball back, gave him a chance.
He forced the ball downfield to Devontae when he's double covered, and Allen Lazard was wide open in the middle of the field. Probably 8 yards away from any other defender, and he would have had a lot of room to run. And he was already I think at least 15, 20 yards downfield too.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And that was bad too, but I don't know what's more unbelievable, the fact that, Rodgers didn't actually get the job done, or the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo led a game-winning drive in his first NFL game ever in freezing temperatures.
That man wins. All that man does is win ball games.
It doesn't make sense, bro. He's now 3-0 in playoff games where his team has not scored an offensive touchdown. I don't understand. He just wins. It doesn't make sense. But now, what the craziest part is, the 49ers are a team that's 1 game away from the Super Bowl, and they just spent a first-round draft pick on a quarterback who started 1 game this season.
Started 2.
Okay, 2. No, you're right. Yeah, 2. But still, I mean,
3.
I think it was.
But yeah,
I don't know. 2.5.
I don't know. Whatever. That's fair.
But yeah,
no, your point.
They're just gonna keep going, I feel like.
Well, yeah, they could win the NFC Championship game too. I don't think they're going to.
Dude, here's my thing though. If they do end up winning, is somehow, of course, the Bengals have to beat the Chiefs first. But if somehow we get a Bengals versus 49ers Super Bowl, the Bengals have only been to 2 Super Bowls ever in the history of the franchise. Both of those Super Bowls were against the 49ers, where Joe Montana just pulled out his cock and shafted us. Historic disappointment for the Bengals. So if we play the 49ers again, it'll be just revenge. It'll be a huge revenge factor. And if we lose, that would be just so, I don't even know how to describe it. If we lose, I think we would be the first 2 teams to meet in the Super Bowl 3 times, and we would be 0-3 against them. So that would just be disappointing.
I think the Steelers and Cowboys have.
They've met 3 times?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I don't know. I saw something on Twitter about that with the Bengals and Niners, so
maybe
could be wrong, but
wrong. Maybe we're 1-1. I thought that the Steelers beat us twice in the 70s, and then we beat them once in the 90s.
Either way, it would still be nuts for them to match up again. So it would have some historical prominence in that game as well.
Oh, for sure.
I would love to see that though, kind of. I would love for the Bengals, if we're going to win the Super Bowl, I'd rather beat the Niners than beat the Rams.
Beat the Rams. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing too about this game, it was pretty boring.
Yeah. It was very slow.
go ahead and say it. Like, it was a good game, but like, there's moments where it was hard to stay off the phone.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's. I don't want to say it's expected whenever it's like snowing in Lambeau, but the weather probably played a part in it. But I was very surprised because the Packers, their only touchdown came on their first drive of the game, and whenever that happened, I was like, "Oh, here we go!" Like,
yeah,
it's
no,
gonna be a blowout.
Same exact thing. I was like, "Yep, Packers are rolling. They're gonna do what I thought they were gonna do," and then I was wrong, very wrong.
Yeah, and by then I was watching. By the end of the game, I was already watching the UFC fights because it was on the main card, and I just kind of looked at my phone. I was checking the box score, and I was like, "Oh, Rodgers got the ball back with 4 minutes. GG's, like that's a good game.
No
Packers
worries,
won."
yeah.
And then all of a sudden I get a score notification like 49ers win. I'm like, "Bro, what? How?" That was the only game I didn't get to watch all of this weekend, but. Man, Speaking of those UFC fights, holy shit, big dubs, Francis Ngannou.
Yes,
sir, bro.
Did it with the torn MCL.
Dude, that's crazy. And he did it wrestling. He never wrestles.
Yeah, ever.
His previous takedown record was 1, and I think he had 5 in that fight.
Dude, and those were just takedowns. Those were body slams.
Oh, my. Especially that first one, dude. He, twisted him and fucking... Dude, as a 250-pound man, it's gotta hurt to be flipped like that.
God, dude, he's just the fucking best, man.
He's nuts.
He's my favorite fighter right now, 100%.
He's one of my favorite. I still got to give it to Israel Adesanya. I love watching him fight. Which he's coming up soon. He's fighting Whitaker soon.
Giving Ngannou a new contract. Fucking.
Yeah, he has had some disputes with the UFC. Yeah. Alrighty though, that's really it for our NFL football talk. Let's go ahead and round things out with Love It or Loathe It. It's a little bit longer than normal, but do you want to take the first round or second round here?
Whichever one you don't want.
Oh, shoot. I don't know. Screw it. I'll give you the first round. So, Grayson Allen of the Bucks was ejected from a game versus the Bulls after a hard foul on Alex Caruso, which ended up fracturing Caruso's wrist.
I love it. That's hilarious for Grayson Allen to keep on doing the same shit that he's doing in college.
Yeah, typical Grayson Allen. But not so much the fact that Caruso's broke his wrist. Yeah.
I like Caruso.
Yeah, everybody got to love Caruso. All right, next up, the Golden State Warriors have slowed down a bit ever since Klay Thompson returned. They have now lost 6 of their last 11 games, which isn't all too crazy, but with the way the Warriors have been playing this year, it's out of the norm.
I love it. Warriors fans are quiet right now because they kept on saying they're on that roll. Just wait till Klay comes back. Just wait till Klay comes back. Well, Klay came back and
not going too hot. Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about the NBA a bit more once NFL is out of the way. But with playoffs going on, it's really all I can think about at the time.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got Shaun White is set to compete in his final Winter Olympics starting the February 4th.
I love it. I've grown up watching Shaun White. Watching him in the last Winter Olympics was sick. Watching him get that gold. I don't know what his odds are going to be for the next gold. I think he's been pretty low key in the snowboarding scene, honestly.
Yeah, he kind of has.
But fuck it. Shaun White in the Olympics, go for gold. Probably going to put some money on it.
Yeah, I probably will too, just for the hell of it.
Gots to.
Yeah, I mean, it's Shaun White. He's an American hero.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we got starting Georgia Bulldogs wide receiver Jermaine Burton transfers to Alabama just less than a month after they beat them in the national championship game.
I love it. I think that's just dumb. I don't like how transfer happy college has gotten with shit like this, like going from rival school to another rival school, and it's like you just beat that guy. Now you're gonna. But the weird thing is too, he's probably gonna get 2 rings in a row.
That's what I was just about to say. Is he's probably just chasing a ring because I really feel like Alabama with Bryce Young have the best shot to win it all next year. So
I think they're going to. I'm gonna put money on it.
Bro, ring chasing has bled over from the NBA into college now. God damn it. All right, our next one is also on the transfer topic, but let's go ahead and switch gears. I'll take these ones.
All right, 68% of 4- and 5-star recruits from 2016 to 2019 have transferred at least once.
Yeah, I'm also going to load this one kind of for the same reasons that you just said. It's just getting too transfer happy. And this was from 2016 to 2019. So that's important to point out. Like, that was before NIL was introduced. We might come to a point where 80% of five-star recruits transfer at least once in their college lifetime. It's just
80.
that's nuts, dude. That's crazy. And I like seeing, because a lot of the reason this happens is because 4 and 5-star recruits will go to the same school. Like Ohio State will end up with 3 4-star or 5-star quarterbacks, and then only one of them gets the starting job. So the other ones are like, hey, I'm still good enough to run a college program. Like, let me just go somewhere else. So I like the competition aspect, but then I also hate the fact that, like, why not just go somewhere that doesn't have any competition and spread the love? But anyway,
There's an open job at TCU right now, boys. Like, come on.
kinda. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see what our boy does.
Yeah.
Anyway, Travis Hunter, number 1 overall recruit and Jackson State signee, says he might play basketball in college as well as football.
I'm gonna load this because I'm kind of one of the people, call me a traditionalist if you may, but I kind of believe that if you're gonna play sports at that level, college or in the pros, with guys like Kyler Murray, who got drafted to the MLB and NFL, I think you just got to stick with one. Even if you're phenomenal, I think sticking with one, it just minimizes your chance of injury, helps you focus on it, have a more successful career in whichever one you end up choosing, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to load this. I think this would be a poor decision, but it might also help him get more NIL money. That's the only thing.
Every last play of regulation throughout the divisional round was decided by, or was a game-deciding field goal.
Oh, I love this. This was, especially after a somewhat, I don't want to say boring, but expected.
Lackluster.
Yeah, lackluster wild card weekend. I would say I got to love this. This is exactly what you would hope for in the divisional round, especially. So these were all great games. I love it. Yo, that is loud.
Sorry.
You're good.
Was it being loud when I was doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, sorry. My ADD is just going off.
No, you're good. I feel that.
Russell Westbrook is currently shooting 58.8% from the field on dunks.
I love this just because I think it's hilarious. I mean, you would see a 58.8% field goal percentage and think, oh, that's like his mid-range or something. Nope, this is Russell Westbrook's dunks. So he's had an interesting year so far in LA. He's definitely become kind of a meme on NBA Twitter. So I love that. I think that's just kind of hilarious.
Yeah, with him being on LA, they're seeing him play night in and night out. And Russell Westbrook has done this throughout his entire career, pretty much. I mean, not to this extent, but this is peak Westbrook we're getting right now.
No, yeah, honestly.
Nobody really noticed because they weren't watching him every single game. And now that we're watching him every single game, people are like, wait a second.
Dude, it's like even when he puts up numbers, bro, he still has bad games, because it's just weird. He puts up like 8 rebounds, 7 assists, but then he also had like 10 turnovers. And you're like, bro, and 3 air balls.
Westbrook.
Yeah, it's Westbrook. So, yeah, you're right, though. He definitely has more of a target on his back now that he's in LA. But alrighty, though. That's going to do it for today's episode. We're going to be back again on Thursday with a new schedule, Monday, Thursday, live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everything else. So be sure to tune in there and listen to the audio version on Spotify, Apple Podcast. Hopefully we have a hell of a weekend in terms of these AFC and FC championship games. We'll be back to give our preview for those matchups on Thursday and a bit more. We may even talk about some NBA because there's only 2 games this weekend. So we'll see what we got in store for you guys. But Elijah, you got anything last minute to add?
No, watch Survivor.
Watch Survivor. All righty, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Peace.